Good morning, YouTube. Today is the 4th, March 4th, 2016. It's 9:30 here. I'm in a school and I have a break. So this update is about the missing children and whole my story, how I came up to this topic roughly 10 years ago. But before I start with this, I want to first apologize to people I'm communicating or I'm trying to communicating over YouTube. It works something like this if I manage. Well, the artificial intelligence is playing a game with me. Very weird little games with the computer equipment. As I said, either like data goes missing from external hard disk and I lost all my dear pictures from Bangkok and Phnom Penh simply being erased, or I'm trying to answer. Okay, let's go like this. I have a cool comment from Jackie Lila, and if I click reply, that leaves me to my update Kruno on Islam. Hello. And I cannot answer because all I see is what YouTube offers me as a next thing, and I have like IMTI Kruno Baraba, the strongest ever robot suit from Aerosun 99. Funny videos, stupid people doing stupid things, and typical spamming from a YouTube. But I cannot answer to that Jackie. I can't. Simply YouTube doesn't give me possibility. And it happens like this from time to time. And you know what's strange? When I finally come to the chance that I can answer that everything is working, I completely lose my my idea, my original idea, what I wanted to say to this person, and it's gone. So this is my little complaint about the things which are not in my control, and I have to give a credit to artificial intelligence. It's really playing very elegant game. In one way, it gives you possibilities, and on another way, it's skillfully cutting off the means of communication. This is very old problem. So, missing children, finally. If you want to learn anything about missing children, go for this report. This report is the only report system gives you. It's the National Incident Studies of Missing, Abducted, Runaway and Throwaway Children from October 2002, and it's done by the US Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs. So 10 years ago, when I came to the topic of missing children, I found this report and we stayed unhappily ever after till this point. I printed it in many copies. I've been putting it on walls so people can see. And so far I did not manage to take anybody into the topic deeply in past 10 years, because I'll give you reason why. When I first came across this document, and especially when I found this page 10, my first emotional reaction was, I can't deal with it, so I simply ditched everything away. I just couldn't, because when it came to my attention that so many children are being kidnapped in order to be sliced, tortured into pieces and consumed by the reptiles and Illuminati and other Satanists, emotionally, I as a person could not deal with this. Do you understand me? I reacted same as any other normal mind-controlled human being would react. This cannot be the truth. However, facts and soul inside of me was always pushing me to the facts. And this is something I beg you. When dots are connecting, when facts are matching, if you close your eyes, that means the mind control won. If you open eyes and if you continue researching, and guys, you can take this to the bank, it's gonna be emotionally difficult to bear. And it's gonna look like a very, very long black tunnel. But eventually, for realizing the truth and digging through the facts, you're gonna start experiencing spiritual awakening. Okay? Awakening doesn't need, I'm gonna come to the subject, I promise. But awakening not gonna only happen through the meditation, because meditation can be bullshit as well, especially if you're receiving from them and their religions. But awakening is coming when you stumble upon the truth and you decide not to back down. This is when awakening happens. So, you have here total number of children with episodes missing and non-missing, and then you have missing, involuntary, lost or injured, 198,300. So these are reported cases and filtered cases through the Illuminati American governmental organization. You understand me? This is the filtered number and this is a low number. It shows in 2002 and 2001, 198,300 missing, involuntary, lost or injured. Now stay with me. The total number, runaway, throwaway, 1,682,900. Missing, benign explanation, 374,700. Family abduction, 203,900. Non-family abduction, 58,200. Okay, we are talking about children. But listen this: missing, involuntary, lost or injured, 198,300. Now, stay with me more. The official propaganda tells you, and this is what many parents hope, that somebody kidnapped their child, probably using it for sexual purposes. Eventually, that child gonna be returned to the family safe and sound. This is one of the biggest fairy tales people think about their missing children. I'm gonna tell you one thing. If your child gone missing so a long time, your child is dead. Before being dead, it was brutally tortured, and the Illuminati and reptile tortured these missing children by tying them to their sacrificial tables, and they're cutting feet off so they can maximize the pain. Because when child is in a huge emotional and physical pain, it radiates so much, it gives away so much of its prana, energy, which they're sucking. They're parasites. That's what they do. They're sucking your energy, and then finally throat gets cut, blood collected, cups get broken, as Lordy says. That means cups get broken. That means cup is after reptile passing on to the lower levels of the hierarchy with the blood, and also pieces of liver as well. This is how they're maximizing their mental, spiritual, mind-reading abilities by consuming our blood and our flesh. And that explains the number. Now, again, number is 198,300. This is only official number from United States of America you can get on the topic. Everything else got censored. This how big is this thing. Now just stay with me. This is logic. Now imagine this. 200,000, and this is conservative number. 200,000 children goes missing in United States of America. Officially in Europe, 250,000, this is officially, and this is a lie because there is a more. 250,000 European children gets sliced into pieces, drained of their blood, consumed. And you think they simply end up in some brothels and they're gonna be returned to you once, eventually, probably with a smile on their face. Not gonna happen. I just want you to think on one thing. Imagine a number. In States 200,000, in Europe 250. But in States it's more like 300,000, and in Europe is more like 500,000. I'll come to that. So imagine that number of children goes missing. Guys, I worked in a tourism part of my life. Transportation and taking care of the people is a part of my training. I finished university for that, and Croatia is all about tourism. There is nothing there apart from that. You dig me? So, When I think about these huge numbers, I'm thinking about how many liters of water each child needs per day, rations of food they need to keep them alive, clothing, cleaning these clothes, keeping them secured in the area, having a guards to take care of them, and then the whole organization of pimping and finding perverts to have sex with them. You understand me? When you think about this logically, when you expand that each child needs a certain infrastructure to be kept on in captivity, then you realize, and I'm coming from a city which has 120,000 people, and it's a big city. You can really see in it. And there is a quite trouble of going from one part to another part, although it has excellent infrastructure. Guys, this amount of missing small people requires incredible infrastructure to harbor them. Where is that infrastructure? Where is that infrastructure? Where is that organization? What kind of organization, how many hands you need to have in your society to snatch these children? And I've seen on television, it's getting insane, you understand me? How they're simply snatching them, taking them into vans and go away. Another digression, in Thailand, as I say, people don't know about Second World War. People don't know, most of the people don't know the neighboring countries to their country. This is how ignorant they are. But they all know about vans picking up children. They all know about it. I will repeat it again until you start realizing that behind this a huge number, there is a huge number of people working in perfect military organization. Is this blowing your mind? Start with figures, math, the filtered figures, and you're gonna get in your mind, by working in your mind independently, you're gonna come to the surreal scenario. And this is exactly when reality is screaming in your face. Your lives are not what you think they are. This is showing you how controlled and owned you are. To the point, as there's a chicken in the garden system, Illuminati or reptile. And what is Illuminati if not raped and mind-controlled human being by the reptile? Can snatch you, take you, cut you into pieces, consume you, burn remains away. And sometimes when they're in the hurry, just put parts into bag and throw it out. Who cares if people find it out? Can you even start realizing? Now, nothing got closer to me than this topic. When it first came to me 10 years ago, I was depressed. And I was coming to the topic, to this particular report, and throwing it away many times until I decided I can't throw it away anymore. In my country, in Croatia, when I stumbled upon this topic, on the page of missing people, I found only 16 people. Only 16. And then it was 25. And now, in 2015, report says that 4,000 young people in Croatia gone missing forever. In 2015, 4,000. What happened? Okay. Now we are talking more about the genocide, because in Croatia you have about 35,000 newborns and 55,000 dead per year. And if you take in that number of 35,000 newborns, we are in deep mortality. I don't have family either. So if you take this number 35,000 and just think, this is only 1 year, but expand your imagination. In 400,000 young people you have in a country, 4,000 go missing per year. and it's mounting. For our country, this is genocide. Silent, brutal genocide. And what is system doing? System is distracting your view with Muslims and terrorism. And it worked effectively in my case as well. While in the same time, the real genocide is going on unnoticed by the masses. So I started to think, okay, 4,000 children got missing, only children in my country, which is 4 million people country. We are talking about mathematics, and I'll say it. On 1,000 people, you have 1 promille, 1 in 1,000 eaten. So they have what they have on a farm, 1,000 human units. They take 1 human unit, fresh, young, preferably, per year, and gets consummated. Other 999 don't react. So I started to think, 4,000. That means roughly 8,000 parents, right? Where is their voice? What's happening with these people? Nobody's giving a shit. Obviously. Oh, they filled up the paperwork, they gave it to police. I've done my part, I'm a parent. Now we come into the mind and mind control. And I'm just gonna say this before I finish, because I wanna take some rest and drink some tea before 10 o'clock. You, all of you, in your biofields, in your aura, love it or hate it, you have etheric and astral implants. And these etheric and astral implants, plus mind control of decades of mind control, plus other elements, are preventing you when you really go with your soul into the possibility of independent thinking. And this is how first inside people get sabotaged. Inside of you, you all have inner enemies. Until you clean them, you will be owned by them. So this is the very first thing when we're thinking about people, how come they don't react? Every single one is controllable unit by the system, which is consisted of very vicious but very intelligent beings called the reptiles, which are simply in the, you can call it hyperspace, in the astral dimension, sitting behind the mighty computers which are constantly measuring your biofields. And then when heretic thought goes into your biofield, you want to do something about this, immediately you're going to have counter reaction inside of you, stopping you, rationalizing for you. If you go out, if you speak about it, you're going to be targeted, you're going to lose your job, right? This is the very first thing reptiles do. They take your job away from you. And then when your job is away, you slowly go into poverty and dying out of the, you know, how it goes. If you read my posts, especially from a year ago when I was very close to that sort of scenario. So this is the how they control you, with the fear and inner mind control. All I want from you is to mutiny against this. This is all I want from you. Nothing more, nothing less. One more remark. Yesterday, a friend of mine, high school friend of mine, Elena, I really loved her in a primary school. We've been very good friends. She reacted on a situation in Croatia where social services by force snatching children from parents, and people started to notice that more and more and more. Strange scenario. Social service, police, and court, which in Croatia, they never work for your account. If you have a house in Croatia, you decide to build a house eventually, you need about 20 years to legalize it. But social service is incredibly agile, incredibly fast into snatching children from people, and people notice that. And then next thing is, children end up in institutions, and more whistleblowers are talking about sexual exploitations in those institutions. Girls in Osijek are virtually prostituted forcefully by their principal, who is taking care of that whatever that institution. This is like a long story from 2008. I remember it vaguely. In short, old story. People with the means and a power are abusing children, and in this case young girls, and then nothing happens, right? People who blow a whistle end up in a psychiatric institution and harassed by the police, because of course if there is a crime, then there is a Croatian police there involved, right? This is how it goes. They stopped the guy from blowing a whistle. This was one parent, and so on. Old story. You know it from England, you know it from all other countries. Something happened, system goes and shuts everything down, and then starts counter-propaganda. That was a mentally disturbed person who, in the same mind, would rape so many children in Osijek, and police is investigating. Police took 24 hours to conclude there is nothing going on. I remember when that happened. So, what's going on with this scenario? She reacted, and there was one comment. When I pretty much wrote the whole story, what's happening, you know, you live in a, this is happening, many children goes missing, pretty much when a gay or a lesbian sees your child and says, oh, I fancy that child. You know, gays and lesbians are very connected. Not all of them are part of the system, but most of them are. Then they simply point to their mates in the social service, they snatch your children, they do paperwork with the court, they show this paperwork to police goes with the guns, takes the child, gets to the pervert's home. And then he's a foster parent, and then the whole cycle of abuse, and more sexual abuse, and passing on these children, making profit on it, right, starts. This is how it goes. This is the whole purpose of it. And there is another purpose of it. You see, they are not targeting any children, they are targeting the soul children. We are the resource. You understand me? We are 20% of us who have souls on this planet. We're being targeted. And this is why am I reacting so emotionally, and actually for the first time on the internet, that I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm sick and tired of all this evil system taking children, raping children, killing children, doing it in a pretty much public arena. You notice missing there. May think, I placed the report to the police. My children gonna go back to me. I pray to God. Eaten, digested, shitted out, and remains burned a long time ago. Sorry for the bad news. And it's not really your fault. Fault lies on shoulders of all of us. And by doing this, I'm really trying to wash my hands away and say, people, they are eating your children, they are raping your children, they are torturing your children, they're doing the same thing to you. And when I die, I'm gonna be one of those children. Same as I was before. This nightmare repeats and repeats and repeats itself till the moment when something positively and truthfully happened to the humanity. And for the end, I just say it, I'm gonna say it publicly, this is the main reason why I don't like gays, both male and female, because they are part of the evil hierarchy. Because gays, and it's known, have far higher tendency of pedophilia than, well, mentally sane people like me. And they are far better socially connected, because all they do is connect all the time, right? So this is my main problem with that community. They're part of that sick evil. And I have problem with them. I was very gay friendly, let's say 10 years ago, but then my attitude started to change. More I start to dig. More I found them everywhere. And that makes me very sick and very upset, especially when I have to hear their bullshit talks, especially on the topic. So, parents, be vigilant. Your children are wanted. They are wanted by the demonic reptiles who are consuming them, because this is the only way how can get actually a prana. They are targeted by the state. In America, they are giving them, believe it or not, crystal meth, speed, as medicine. It's official for the hyperactive children, which are normal children, perfectly normal soul children, are being drugged. So this is a war on us. This is a serious thing, and eventually humanity either gonna start waking up and blah blah blah, or you know. I'll stop now. But parents, be very careful if you have gay people around your children, because if you have gay people, you automatically have a lust for your children around, and if you have that, you have a predator, and that predator will try to get to your child. And with this demonic state and demonic attitude in many people, which is not seeing, not hearing nothing, just keeping my job, this is my job. Yes, I'm making 600 euros. This is my job, and for that job I'm willing to turn my blind eye on anything. Well, if you continue being like this, like little mice, then you're gonna get fucked, and sliced. So fuck yourself. You deserved it with your compliance, all of you. But you didn't deserve this kind of evil. No more talking. I apologize for saying you deserved it. Nobody really deserved this. But come on. If you're not speaking about it, if you're not putting posters about it, if you're not engaging other people about it, you are a part of the problem. And this is my grudge to the majority, because you are part of the problem. So stop being part of the problem. Do something about it. Be creative. Don't ask me what to do. Do something. Meditate. Get the idea from your soul. It will come to you. I have always more things to say, but I'll stop now. Thank you for watching me. And if I offended gay, lesbian community, well, you know what? You perverts, I never really liked you. Thank you.